Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this video. This video will be about tips and tools and how to know you're in the fifth dimension. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Becky. I'm the spiritual empath. And I had a spiritual awakening back in 2013. And since I have been studying things like psychic development, mediumship, crystal chakras, etc. And I've really gotten into the law of attraction lately and more energy related modalities. So right now I'm currently reading this book called Waking Up in 5D. You can screenshot that so you guys can read it too. I really highly recommend that everyone reads this book. It will give you some kind of understanding as to what's happening in the world today. But first of all, what is 5D? The fifth dimension is basically what we refer to as heaven. The fifth dimension is a place where there is nothing but joy, peace, happiness, compassion, empathy, all those sorts of emotions. There is no longer any karma. There's no I couldn't even talk this morning. Polarity, or like the polarity. Anyway, which is like good, bad, that kind of thing. There's no judgment. There's, that's the third and fourth dimension. And I really myself had a hard time kind of understanding if we're living in the third dimension and the fifth dimension is basically considered heaven, then what is the fourth dimension? And the fourth dimension is like, that's like your transition dimension. Like if you have, I'll try to explain it. If you have like the third dimension here, which is where we currently reside, basically, and you have like the fifth dimension up here. So then like the fourth dimension would be somewhere in here. Well, most people kind of reside like just above the fourth, like, or no, just below, I think it is. Something like that. Like right below, like in the higher third dimension, something like that. I could be wrong. I'm still trying to understand the dimensions myself. But the fourth dimension is basically like the transition into the fifth dimension, and the fifth dimension is where we would like to get to. That's when everybody will know peace and joy and happiness, and there will be peace on earth. So, okay, if I didn't confuse you enough already, I'm going to try to give you some tools for living in 5D and signs that you're there. And I'm taking it from chapter 4. I have some notes written so I don't have to read from the book, but I may, I'm not sure. So we may get a little woo-woo here, but stick with me. So some things you can do to get to the fifth dimension is you can ask for help from your angels, your spirit guides, and the ascended masters like Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad. Your angels, you can ask them for your awareness to be in your fifth dimensional self. That's our higher self. When we are in the fifth dimension, we are currently our higher self. You can bring God energy into everything you do. One thing you can do is you can say, Dear God, please bless me while I open the mail. Dear God, please bless me while I eat my food. Um, just ask for the God energy to be in everything that you do. You can walk in nature. Nature is really good uh, for connecting with your higher self. Look for the beauty in everything. I do this all the time. If you see a sunset, just take a moment and appreciate the beauty of that sunset, and that like immediately like transforms you into your higher self, into the fifth dimension. Um, Seeing appreciation in like in everything, in water flowing from the stream, like you may be hearing from the side of my house here. I sit out here on my porch, like ever since I got this table, I've been sitting out here on my porch like every day, like seriously, every day, no matter if it's sun shining, no matter if it's raining, no matter what, because I can hear the stream, flowing, and I just appreciate that. It's like a white noise in the background, and it just helps, clear my head. You can work with your dreams. You can keep a dream journal. And let's say that you have a dream about a butterfly and you realize that you have butterfly wings. You can ask the question in your dream journal, does that mean I have transformed? Because a butterfly is a symbol of transformation. So you can ask for, you know, does this mean I have transformed because I've dreamt of a butterfly and I have butterfly wings? And then you can wait for the answer. Meditation is amazing for getting into the fifth dimension and connecting with your higher self, God energy. And one thing, my first mentor taught me about sun gazing. A sun gazing meditation is like either at sunrise or sunset. Just gaze at the sun. Not when it's, so bright that you can't look at it. It's got to be, at the level where you can look at it for a few seconds at a time, and increase slowly. And you can do this like once a day. Preferably, many people think preferably in the morning time for the sunrise is the best time to do it. And the idea is to work yourself up to like 45 minutes of sun gazing. And it would take you, if you're doing it once a day, it could take you about 9 months to get to that. You could also be barefoot, sitting on the ground barefoot with your feet on the ground, doing some earthing while sun gazing. That is amazing too. This one is the one I like the most, being playful. Seeing the humor in all situations, no matter if it's sad times or hard times, difficult times, whatever. Being playful, being able to see the humor and the joy, the blessing in disguise, you could say. Because being in this joyful state allows you to release attachments and expectations and judgments. And if you remember, like I said, in the fifth dimension, there is no judgment. There are no expectations. There are no attachments. So being in a joyful, playful mood will get you to that fifth dimension. I wrote this down. This is from, let's see, I forget what page it's from, but I wrote this down, right here. I wrote it down in my notes. This right here. Claim no more karma. This was really good. Very powerful, actually. You can claim no more karma, because in the fifth dimension there is no karma. There is no such thing as karma. You can claim karma is over for me. Okay, an example would be if someone steals something from you or hurts you, instead of being angry, okay, you need to decide that it doesn't matter. Don't decide to forgive either, because forgiving means that you still hold them in a place of judgment. Okay, that's pretty powerful right there. That was from my notes. I can actually read you the whole paragraph. It says, claim no more karma. Gone are the days where you need another chance to learn how to do something. You can now claim with certainty no more karma. In fact, the sooner you do it, the better, because those who hold you back are hoping you don't figure this one out. In fact, if this is the first time you are hearing this message, consider deciding that this is for you. Everything will shift for you in an instant. Claim it. Karma is over for me. It is part of the new paradigm of becoming fifth dimensional. This means that if you are angry with someone for stealing from you or hurting you, you need to decide it doesn't matter. Don't decide to forgive, because forgiving means you are still holding them in a place of judgment. This new paradigm means that you can no longer hold energy against another, because then it is you that is holding the karma in place, not them. Okay? And you can't be in the fifth dimension if you're holding karma. So I thought that was like really powerful. So some ways you can confirm that you are in the fifth dimension connection. Jeez, I can't even talk. As you become more in tune with your body, you will notice sensations that confirm your connection with the fifth dimension. Now, we've all had chills, chills for me, goosebumps, whatever, goose pimples, whatever you want to call them. That's a big one. That is like really the first sign that I think everybody really gets. You could hear a song, you could hear someone say something to you, in a conversation, and say you need a little bit of advice, and they're saying something to you and you get chills, or you're giving the advice and you get chills. That's a sign that you should take your own advice. I've had that happen many, many times. You can also experience aches and pains that could hold you. You will also experience aches and pains as your body seeks to eliminate anything that could hold you back. If you've already consulted a doctor and have confirmed that nothing is wrong, then it's most likely that you are ascending. Okay, ascending means you are connecting with your higher self and getting into that fifth dimension. So body confirmations, as I had just said, chills is one of them. Night sweats. Now, for some of us ladies, getting, aging quite beautifully, that could also be a sign of going through the change of life. But night sweats is another body confirmation that you are ascending. Waking up just 3 hours, after just 3 hours of sleep. Now my husband does this like almost every night. Usually about 3 hours after he's fallen asleep, he's awake. And sometimes it could be between the hours of like 3 and 4, 3 and 5, somewhere around there. They call that the waking hour. That's when you're like really connected to the fifth dimension. That's why dreams are really important. You could get signs, symbols, messages, all sorts of things through your dreams. Um, let's see, strange food cravings. You may notice that you're liking different food cravings or just the opposite. For me, as I've been ascending, I notice there's certain things that, like I don't do well with like processed foods and things like that. I don't eat a lot of certain snack cakes because like it's like I can taste the processing. You know, it doesn't even taste like food. And so there's like a lot of things you may have food cravings or things that you just doesn't appetize you anymore. And you kind of stay away from, like I stay away from a lot of the processed foods, anything that has a lot of extra additives and dyes and chemicals, and it doesn't agree with my body. I also do not eat a lot of meat anymore, especially red meat, because it leaves me feeling like I have this heavy feeling in my body. So the healthier you eat, um, the lighter you will feel, you know, and that's the ascension process. Your body is no longer wanting to eat like junk food and things that are loaded with chemicals and additives and preservatives and all that kind of yucky stuff. Let's see. Irritability. You may notice you might be a little more irritable as your body is ascending. Um, Repeated patterns keep resurfacing. Um, Seek learning tools that will help you eliminate holdbacks coming from past lives, emotional blockages, and external energies. Um, so, like, you repeated patterns. We're here to learn lessons for our soul's ascension. And if you find yourself having situations that are very similar, that keep repeating, the people may be different, the situation may be a little bit different, but quite very similar because the lesson to be learned is very similar. Um, let's see, feeling spacey or out of it. I'm always feeling spacey. So that means you need to do some grounding work. Earthing, which I mentioned before, putting your bare feet on the ground, walking in the sand, hugging a tree, anything like that will help ground you. Running your hands under cold water, um, certain thing, getting certain crystals of a red or a black stone that is associated with the root chakra will help to ground you. Um, just certain things like that. You're feeling spacey because your body is now ascending and adjusting to higher frequency levels. Let's see, what else do I have here for notes? Physical pain. Like I said before, as long as you've been seen by your doctor and you can have confirm that nothing is medically wrong, aches and pains, just trust what your inner guidance says, as far as like, okay, it's nothing, it's just my body ascending to the higher frequencies. um, you may also notice orbs, whether it be in like a photograph. Orbs are always around us. Spirit is always around us. We can't see it with our naked eye, but like in a photograph or taking a video, you can see orbs, especially like when you're around music. Music is a very high vibration. You can see orbs in photographs or videos of like music and stuff. Um, and those orbs are show up because you're at a higher frequency, or the person doing the photographer is at a higher frequency. You also may see like little white flashes out of your peripheral vision, the corner of your eye and stuff. Um, every so often I do see that. Um, let's see. You also, let's see. This this is this is really good. Uh, I'm a big baby. I don't like a lot of pain. And when I read this, handling uncomfortable symptoms, your angels and guides do not know how bad your pain level is, because they are not in a physical body. Okay, so you can recite this mantra. Does it have to hurt? Over and over until the pain lessens. Now, I am going to use this. You know, I've had many toothaches, kidney stones, and other kinds of pains and stuff throughout my experience, my life experience, and I've never been a fan of pain. So I'm going to actually be using this mantra myself. Does it have to hurt? Does it have to hurt? Does it have to hurt? And then my guides will know, okay, that I'm in pain, and then help me lessen the pain. I'm definitely going to try that. That seemed like, wow. Here's another thing that I found that was very interesting. In the third dimension, where we currently reside, we have free will. Okay, we can choose to go this way, or we can choose to go that way. Okay, we have free will to do that. Now, when you're in the fifth dimension, there is no free will. Okay, because remember, the fifth dimension is all about peace, love, joy, happiness, gratitude, appreciation, compassion, empathy, all these. So why would there be free will? When you are in 5D, there is no free will. In 3D, you have a God choice and you have a not God choice. Okay? And the not God choice is where the mistake, the sin, the wrong, or whatever is. But the free will isn't needed in 5D, because you only want a God choice. So when you're faced with making a decision and you intuitively dismiss any choice that is not a God choice, then you're in the fifth dimension. Like, how cool is that? So I've always said, trust your gut, follow your heart. You know, and because your gut and your heart will always lead you on the God path, on the path where you're supposed to go. And sometimes, even if we do trust our gut and follow our heart, and it doesn't seem like it was the God choice, it was actually the God choice. Because even if it ends up seeming like it was a wrong choice, you made that choice intuitively because there was a lesson for you to learn. making that choice. So it may seem like you listen to your heart, you trusted your gut, and you listen to your heart, and you feel like you made the right choice, and then, a few days, weeks, or whatever down the road, it's like, everything went all wrong. But it's because there was a lesson there for you to learn. And there's no mistakes when you've learned the lesson. Now, let's see. Oh, okay. Then my next video, I'm going to do on chapter 5, which is about emotions, and we can get more into your emotions and that intuitive feeling and stuff like that. But I've always wanted to be a teacher, and this sort of thing has always interested me and fascinated me. I've always been a truth seeker. I have a thirst for knowledge. I want to learn as much as I can about like, why are we here? What is our purpose? And I do believe everyone has a purpose, and I believe everyone, our main purpose here is to learn how to be our God self. We are here to ascend and to get to the fifth dimension and make heaven a place on earth. And it won't be until everyone practices like these certain things, the compassion, the gratitude, the non-judgment, until everyone can get to that level, then that's when we'll have heaven on earth. And I think that, I could be wrong. What do I know? I think that is our ultimate purpose here, is for everyone to ascend, to be their highest God self. So I appreciate you guys taking a few minutes to watch, and I hope you have a happy and blessed day, and I hope you'll watch the next videos to come. Okay? Have a great day. Much love.